You're not alone. The crisis no project manager rarely talks about until now. If you're new to the episode or new to the channel, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means Ed. I have an 8-point framework, and these 8 points, my goal, my mission, my dream, is to unpack today's title. Today's title is entitled Project Managers Speak Out, the Unspoken Crisis of Feeling Stuck. You're not alone. There it was, August 30th, 2014. I'm excited because I did the work. I prepared and I felt I was over prepared. I sat down to take the certified associate in project management. I was on my way. Finished the tests, got my results back, and they said, you failed. Whew, okay. All right, I guess we're gonna have to get back. We're gonna have to, start all over again and figure this out, see where my weak points is and everything. But see, family, what you don't understand, the reason why I was taking that test. You see, I accidentally got into that test because I really wasn't even going after a certification because I was like, hey, I got the degree. I'm kind of really new in my field at that point, as far as I've probably been in the field probably about that time, about 2 to 3 years. So I was really just getting my wings under me and understanding some of the things because I was bouncing in between different industries, meaning I was in finance and then I went into application and then I've been in IT ever since. But the point I'm trying to make, family, is that I was so excited because of the fact that I finally figured out something that I wanted to do. This was my ticket. This was my way out. And what happened is the reason why I even got there was because I was frustrated in the role I was in. See, I'm going to be transparent with you. Most people won't do this, but it's going to help somebody that is stuck out there. You see, when I was stuck, it was because of, it had something to do with me. I didn't even want to point the finger at anyone else. See, I knew that I could do better. It had nothing to do with the organization. Before we always want to point at the organization or leadership. Not this time around. This was on me. Yep, they set me up for failure. Yep, they did. Because what they did was when someone left the organization, they said, hey, we got an opportunity. Would you like to be in there? Of course. Why would I turn it down? And I got in there and it was a nightmare. I mean, forget the dream. The dream was already killed. So I had to make a decision of what am I going to do? And when I made that decision, I thank God that I made the decision to stick to this craft of this thing that we call project management. Because if I wouldn't be here today giving you something around project management. Maybe it'd be around something else, any other career field that I became obsessed with. But what that did for me in that moment when I seen I was set up for failure, I became obsessed. I became so obsessed with the craft of project management, I refused to allow this to happen to me again. And if it did, I wanted to have all the assets in place that I can pivot quickly, meaning that if I needed to look for another opportunity, which leads us into point number one, which is planning a strategic career move. I started listing out of the things that I felt that I was good at. I felt that, hey, if I got some more coaching and training around this, I could become great at. And that's what I started doing, family. I just started building out that list of my skill sets, meaning leadership, meaning sales, all of these different skill sets. And then I went out and started looking, okay, what type of job needs some of the skill sets that I have? Here again, planning strategically about a career move. Because most people won't tell you, it's like you're working in a toxic organization, or you're in an organization and in your gut something is off, something is not right, and there's nothing. You've done everything you possibly can do. You've talked with leadership, you talk with your colleagues and peers, and your colleagues and peers are saying the same thing, but they decided to stay. So now you're caught in between a choice and a decision. Let me tell you why I like that, because the choice is that you continue to get the treatment, continue to deal with what you've been dealing with, but a decision, That hit a little bit different. Reason why that hits a little bit different is because now the decision is like, if I made the decision that I'm going to stay, then I'm going to retool up. I'm going to go ahead and start learning, figure out where my weak spots are, my blind spots, and I'm going to work on those things. Then sticking with point number one, I'm going to start plotting out my career move. If that was my decision that I'm going to move forward as far as retooling myself, then I know I have to be prepared when an opportunity is there, because they always say it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared. Okay, I'm on fire right now. I hope somebody's feeling what I'm saying. Let's move on to point number two. Point number two: seek both a coach and a mentor. Listen, family, if you, it's nice if you can get both, meaning a coach and a mentor, because these are two different things. I mean, if you find someone like a Phil out there, shout out to you, Phil, that can be a coach and a mentor. See, a coach helps you seek the answers. The mentor kind of gives you the answers. Okay, you don't like that one. Here's the remix. A coach will give you the map. A mentor will be the guide with you in that map. And you need both, because you need to balance off each one of those. So find you a coach or a mentor. Hey, I told you guys earlier, on March 9th, Saturday, March 9th, we will be hosting our first event, and basically through school. So I'm thinking of if I'm going to do a live or just let the family know. But we will have 6 classrooms. Some of them will be free, some of them will be paid. But if you decide to go with a coach or a mentor, you want to pay that coach or mentor, because when you vote with your wallet, you have a better opportunity of sticking with the thing that you decided to stick with. Let's move on to point number three. Point number three: evaluate organizational fit. See, this is another thing, family. We don't look at the organizational fit. Are we a fit for the organization? Forget, is the organization a fit for us? Meaning that, are we providing value to the organization? Or has the organization shifted, which we can't provide value anymore? See, a lot of times we don't want to look at ourselves. I had to look at myself, family. I had to realize that it's not their fault. They provided the opportunity. That's all they were responsible for. How it was going to play out, that was up to me. And because that was up to me, and it wasn't going the way that I knew it should have went, or based off of what I've seen happen with other people, I was like, okay, there has to be a change that happens. So what I recommend, family, is make a list of your core values and compare them to the organizational culture and values. See if they align. If they don't align, then you know what you have to do. You have to make a decision, either to stay or to go. Point number four: at this point in time, family, you're going to want to focus on your physical and mental health. This is going to be key. The reason why is, when I was going through that transition, I'm not even going to lie, I was on the treadmill, I was going for long walks, uh, because I understood that if I got too much in my head, if I focused on all the negativity that was going on, I wouldn't be able to make a clear decision on based off of, not off of feelings, but the facts. Sometimes we can get caught up in our feelings and miss what the facts are. Maybe there's something I can do to save this opportunity, because I really like maybe working with 2 or 3 other people here. So maybe I can save this opportunity. But if I can't, how do I leave out respectfully? All right, point number five: adapt a growth mindset. You knew I was going to have growth mindset in here. Family, listen, I understand that having a growth mindset is challenging, because it's easier to focus on the negative things that are going on around you, inside you, of how you're feeling. But just, I want to challenge you. I want to recommend to you, reflect on your past challenges that you've had, and how did you overcome them? That will give you the courage. That will give you the motivation. That will give you the destination while you're on your journey, to be able to be the success that you were meant to be. So I always recommend, adapt that growth mindset. How did you overcome? It may not even be a similar situation, but you can pull from that, which will give you the courage to walk into this situation and get to the root of what is actually going on. Point number six: networking and industry engagements. As I said, I'm building a community for the family. Well, we are building a community, excuse me, which I want like-minded people in there. I want us to converse, have conversations like this that we're having today, in which will allow opportunities where someone can say, hey, have you looked at this? Or, hey, won't you do this? Or, basically just really giving you, guiding you, because they've already may have already been through it. Because I've been through this before when I felt stuck, and that was the last time I felt stuck in a role, because I knew when I seen some of the signs, it already alert me and let me know, okay, now we have to make a change. And see, that's another thing, is that wisdom, better known as experience, will teach you these things along in your journey. And sometimes you'll get it right. I'll be honest with you, and it's going to be sometimes you get it wrong. But make sure you look at both of these, right and wrong. Like, what did you do well, and what didn't you do well? And when you do that, this gives you an opportunity to really excel. And that's why I recommend to you, again, family, networking and industry engagements. Point number 7, I couldn't have said it any better, is continuously learning and skill development. I call it retooling, making sure that you continually to retool. Do not get comfortable. Do not get comfortable. Do not, I don't know how many times I can say this, do not get comfortable. The reason why I say do not get comfortable is because if you make a decision, if something is happening and you're working in a toxic environment and you didn't do the upfront work, you didn't do the, as they would say, before you work out, stretch. If you didn't stretch before you went to that, before you had an opportunity to make that shift, then when that opportunity comes up, you won't be ready for it because you didn't do the proper things. Now, I know the question is going to be, well, what should I be looking for? Well, you're here project management and personal development, but mostly probably career orientated stuff around project management. Start looking at certifications. What certifications can I get? If I don't have any experience, CAPM. If I do have experience, PMP. If I don't have any experience, CSM, which is Certified Scrum Master. So, family, look at various ways that you can retool, which allow you to be prepared either way. Either way that you make, whatever decision you make, you're still prepared for having to make maybe a more difficult decision of deciding to leave an organization. Because I truly believe that is a difficult situation, because especially if you, it's really hard when you really like some of the people that you work with. You may not like everybody, but you like enough to say, man, I'm willing to tough it out. However, you still got to keep in mind, is this a fit? Is this a fit for you? Is this a fit for the organization? Point number 8, skill inventory. As I told you when I stated earlier, when I was talking about mapping it out for as far as a career strategy, take inventory of your skills and consider how they're applied to other roles in the community. Skills like leadership, communication, strategic planning are highly valued skills across any field. That's why I always say project management is definitely one of those career paths that is a transferable skill set. You can walk into a sales position. You can walk into a marketing position. You can walk into having to be a leader as far as communicating on a high, on an executive level, because you are constantly doing this. You're getting your reps in as you're a project manager leading projects of having to communicate up and down. So do a skill inventory of everything. Family, I'll close with these closing remarks here. Point number 1, get a coach and a mentor. A coach primary role and responsibility is help you to get better in a particular skill. So if you want to get better at speaking, that's their role. If you want to get better at communicating written, that's what they're there for. And a mentor uses their work experience to give you more of an accurate look of what it should look like day to day. Point number 2, plan for a strategic career move. If you know that you've made the decision, I'm not going to stay in this organization, and make the decision to go, but plan appropriately. What does planning look like? Again, I told you, list out all of those skill sets, basically do an inventory of your skill set, and then start reaching out to see what job opportunities will fit the skill set that you have. And if there's some that you're interested in, still apply for it. But again, family, don't leave an organization until you've done your homework as far as like, yep, this is the decision, and stand on it. But if you decide to stick there and continue to work through it, then do that. As I shared with you at the beginning, I wouldn't be here if I didn't stick through the transition when I was stuck. But I will admit to you, once once I made it through, I was like, okay, now I'm ready to go. And number three, networking. Connect with other like minded individuals in your field. I told you we have a school, the Magnetic Project Manager School will be live Saturday, March 9th, 2024. So if that's something you're interested around and getting around like minded individuals, I challenge you. Matter of fact, I implore on you that you go ahead and get connected with us. This has been your boy AD. I really hope that I help somebody out there today that is feeling stuck, that's feeling confused on what they should do. I gave you 8 beautiful unpacked points that can help you make an appropriate decision, not a irrational decision like, oh, I'm quitting my job. No, 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 no. That's not what we have. That's not the consultation we give over here. We give more of a excuse me, approach to things. And we don't base it off of feelings. We base it off of facts. What are the facts telling us? If the facts are not adding up and it's not making sense, you have your answer. But if there's some things that you need to work on before leaving, you may want to do that, family. Until next time, I'm out.